Luminaria Contemporary Arts Festival is one of the most prominent contemporary art festivals in South Texas. Yadhira Lozano has over 20 years of professional experience in the arts and nonprofit world in San Antonio and Los Angeles. She serves on the city's art commission and is executive director of Luminaria. Hi, Yadhira. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we love that you're from San Antonio. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to be with Luminaria?
Sure. Well, I grew up here in San Antonio. I was actually born in Laredo, and my family had been going back and forth to Mexico, which is our town is like 3 hours away. So really, it's not that far. It's like going to Houston and back. So I've been, I guess, bicultural, national my whole life. And so I've always been in arts and culture. My brother and I were in the Harlandale High School or Harlandale ISD Mariachi. And that was in the 80s when it wasn't cool. Now there's so many mariachis everywhere. I'm so proud of the scene and that all these young children are embracing it and not embarrassed and shy like I was. So I played violin in 4th grade. My elementary school had a violin teacher that would come and teach us. And I was the only kid that actually stuck with it out of everyone that was interested. And then in middle school, I wanted to be in band. And so they just gave me a trumpet and I didn't like it because, you have to use your mouth. You can't wear lipstick and it leaves like this ugly mark. And so I'm like, maybe that's not for me. So high school, I did, drama and newspaper yearbook, and I was in the color guard. So I was in flags. So I've always been involved in the arts somehow. Our teachers taught us do recitals, and I did poetry, and then I sang, and I won ribbons, and that was just growing up on the south side of San Antonio. That's just how we lived. My brother played guitar and vihuela, and we always just dabbled in something. I have a piano at home. I don't know how to play it, but I can figure something out. So arts and culture has just been part of my life. I went to Los Angeles for school. The next thing you know, it was 20 years. And then I moved back to San Antonio in 2013 to help up in the Briscoe Western Art Museum.
For somebody who has in our audience has never attended Luminaria, what are some things that really stand out to you with the event and what can they expect?
For someone that's never been, I think they're going to be wowed because it's a nighttime festival. So that already changes the vibe, the feel of the event. You're not going to be hot and sweaty. You're not going to be, looking for, the chicken on a stick. We may have some, I'm not sure, but fine. But it's a different feel. The sun's not beating down on you. There's a cool fall breeze, hopefully, and then everything starts to be illuminated, and the building has all these lights going on, and you're like, what's happening over there? So then you kind of inch your way over there, and oh wow, there's somebody doing something really amazing. How did they do that? Like, there's a lot of wonder. There's a sense of discovery. There's a sense of some magic happening because it's at night. There's lights involved. But the art speaks for itself. The performers put on, either a music performance or theater or an art installation, and they're part of the art installation. So, it's art coming to life. It's art alive in front of your eyes. And I think that's what makes this festival very special. Back in March, I had surveys that I did because I wanted to know, did people feel comfortable coming out in person, or should we just put everything on Zoom? Let's record everything in a studio and just put it online. And the majority said, absolutely not. We're not doing Zoom anymore. We want to see it in person because that's the draw. That's what really inspires us. And, that connection to the artist, to see the artist right there. And then maybe be able to talk to them after. Like, that's just really, really important. And something that you can't get out of a Zoom. So this is Adrián de la Cruz. And he does pop art. So there's a lot of pop cultural imagery involved. And he's a local Southside artist. And so he's actually curating the art gallery. We're only going to have one indoor space, and that's going to be down on Convention Center. It's called the LDR room, Lonesome Dove room. And it's very cowboyish. So we're going to try to make it a little contemporary. We're going to put up some temporary walls and have his artwork in there. Caldrick Dow is he's not an emerging, he's establishing himself right now. He's got this huge commission with the city to do public art sculpture at Martin Luther King Park. And so that's going to come up next year. He's doing amazing things. And then Simone Martinez is a little more younger, up and coming, and her theme is all about women's experience. So she has smaller pieces that she's going to be producing, and we're doing a whole tribute to Adan Hernandez, who is one of our preeminent Chicano artists that recently passed away in February. And so I was just thinking, like, how can we honor his legacy? Because his work in the film Blood In, Blood Out is a cult classic, and that film put Chicano art on the map. And little did we know, oh, it was a San Antonio artist, and then the actor portraying the artist in the film was Jesse Borrego, who's also a local San Antonio actor, and he's had this huge trajectory of over 40-year career in film, television, Hollywood, stage, you name it. He's been in so many films that we love. And so then I invited Jesse to be my honorary chair, and he sat with our curatorial committee, and we all discussed who's going to be in this show. How do we represent the best of San Antonio, the best of Texas, the best of contemporary art? And luckily we found them, and they're all here in San Antonio or in the vicinity. And because of COVID, you know, I didn't want to be responsible for people traveling in a pandemic. So I said, if you can get here, or if you live anywhere near, then let's do it. I also have large installations. So you're going to see these beautiful giant pieces lit up. I have some things that glow, some things that move to music. And then I have one group called Of the Serpent, and it's a group of 4 individuals that do Burning Man every year. They live here in San Antonio, and they work and they construct in their studio space these huge, enormous pieces. And Burning Man, they go up to 40 feet. Who knows, right? You're out in the desert. Yeah. And so they're like, we want to do this, and I don't have a Burning Man budget. So I'm like, really? Like, you'll do it for this much? That's all I have. But it's all heart and soul. These artists are saying, we want to be there, and we're going to make it happen, and we're pooling our resources, and they're networking with each other. So that's the background to all of this, is that we are building and expanding our local arts community. We have theater coming, a whole play that's being produced by Deanna Brown, and she's bringing about 10 actors and singers, and they're going to be producing a play, because she's actually one of our Luminaria Artist Foundation grantees for this year. And her project was to produce this play, and so she's going to perform a portion of it. It's a comedy. It's supposed to be really hilarious, and she's amazing, so I know she's going to pull it off. I have a poetry showcase of local San Antonio poets, and music. I've got 2 stages. The main stage, it's called the main stage because it has more microphones, right? It's going to be for the big bands. And so we have some amazing groups coming out. Bombasta, which is a local 11-piece Latin fusion band, high energy. I really want that energy to come out. Jeremy King, who's one of our other grantees, is going to be performing some R&B hip hop along with Satara. Satara is opera trained, but she's doing R&B soul kind of music. So, these artists are multi-talented. They've got so many skills. And so we had to really hone down what they're going to do for the festival. Okay, let's focus on this, and then we can add some elements, but I want them to shine at the end of the day. So there's going to be a lot of projections, some digital art, some huge digital art. Hopefully I'm trying to pull this off where there's one long video that's like 20 something feet long. And it's just amazing. The imagery, the digital art, the little animals, the whimsical little flowers blooming, and it's just, I can't even explain it. You just have to come and see it.
Well, thank you so much, Yadhira, for joining us today, and we look forward to the event so much. It's going to be great.
Thank you. Please come out and wave, because we're not handshaking.
Yeah, right. All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.